Okay, so in this one, I'm just, for those of you who missed the first session or wanted a review on what we went over, I'm going to show you how we went ahead and used the block tool. So what I did was I'm going to have you go to File, New, and then we'll call this blocks, and doesn't matter, 8 by 5 is fine, 300 transparent background. And basically what I had the students do was I had them go into Google and find some blocks that they were going to um, work with. And we'll go ahead and open up Google and I'll show you how easy that is. So basically just get in there and type in Google, and what you're going to be doing is type in blocks. And I just went into images and just picked a series of blocks to do. It doesn't have to be anything major. And what you could do is you could just hold down your control key and copy the image, and then just go back into Photoshop and go edit and paste. And we're just going to use this as an outline. And you can go Command T or edit free transform, and you can hold down your Shift key and resize the blocks. So what we're going to be doing is showing you today how it is to make the shapes with the pen tool. And we're just going to basically have you do the pen tool, which is located right above the text tool. Now what I'm going to do is basically you make a series of points, and we're going to have you in the shape mode. And if you want, you can be in a fill mode, but for now I would just say go ahead and leave the red line through here as well with the stroke, because what we're going to do is we're going to make the shape first, and then I'll show you how to do the fill. So I go to the starting point, make the tip, and you can, if you see closely, a path is actually being made. And I now have closed the shape. You have to go back to your starting point in order to close the shape. Now if I go to fill and give it a color, you can see that I have made a shape there. And just the same way on the side, I can go ahead and make the shape here. And you see that little circle that shows up right below the pen tool? That means you're coming to the original starting point, and now you're going to close the path. And again, you can do the same thing, you know, for the top. Now, the thing is what you want to remember, it's very important to start labeling things as you get working on this so that you know what the shapes are. And so the first shape that I made was the front top block. The second shape I made was the top side. And all I'm doing here is double clicking on the word shape, and it allows me to rename it, and this is top. Okay, so now if I have to go back in here and make changes, I know where I can go to do that block. Now it's going to automatically print out in the last color that you made, and so I'm going to go back to fill and turn it off, and notice how it turned off the top block. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my shapes here. Now don't be too worried about, and I'll go ahead and call this front right. And then I'm going to go in here call it side right. And then I have the top block here, which is kind of hard to see right now, but we'll just kind of maybe make what we think it's going to look like. And we'll
Diane Lehman, could you come to the
right.
activity office? Diane Lehman, to the activity office, please.
Now I can go back in here, and you know how the top was not a fill. I could go in there and I could give it a different color too. I can go to the front right shape and I can give that a fill. and go to the side right shape and give that a fill as well. And the last color you use will actually show up right here in the first part. And I can go to the top and I can give that a fill as well. Okay, and don't worry, I'm going to show you how you can fix that later. And we'll go ahead and make our third block. And again, because I had that color on, it's going to go ahead and give me the color that I last used. I can go ahead and call this left front. And then go ahead and make the next one here. And call it top left. And again, I can go in and change the colors as I need to. Okay, let's make that top one here kind of a brownish, just kind of stay in line with things. Okay, so now we've just made our basic shapes, and you can see it's not exact. And so this is where we come in to, we have two tools here. We have the path selection tool, and so if I'm on the top left one and I click on it, you see the points come out here, and I can actually move this shape with that tool. If I go down below one tool, I go to what we call the direct selection tool, and you'll notice that all of these blocks right now, the handles here are solid black, but when I click in with the direct selection tool, you notice that they become hollow inside. And now I can actually manipulate my selection. Okay, and so now if I zoom in really close, I can make a decision. Okay, do I need to move this over a little bit? So going back to the direct selection tool, I might take this one out and move it over a little bit. I come down to this box right here, and now if I make a decision I need to move those over as well, click on here and you see that I'm still on the direct selection tool. So I can go ahead and move these out as well. Again, I can hold down my space bar to move my boxes around, and I might bring this one over a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and make a decision what to do here. If you notice, we got the side top. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top side. And I can go ahead and move this in, and you notice now how I've got those paths connected and more in line. Okay, if I wanted to, I could go to the front top and I could bring this out. And again, it's not going to be perfect because we got some fuzzy edges that we're working with here. But this one here is what I want to show you as well. We have the top right here, and you can see how we're missing quite a bit because in actuality, we'll go ahead and get this fixed here right now, this part here. But let's say I actually really need another point here. And another thing we can do, we can go back to the pen tool, we can actually add points. And I could go ahead and add a point here. And I could add another point. And what I'm going to do is just kind of click this, and I'm going to show you that it's a curved point right now. I'm going to make it into a straight point by bringing that right in there. Okay, and I'm going to bring this back out. Okay, and we have what we call a convert tool, and right now it's in an angle, so I'm just going to make that straight. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and add another point right in the middle here. Okay, and I'm going to take my selection tool, and I don't want a curve tool, which I don't think it looks like it's a curve tool here, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to here. And just in case, let's go ahead and convert that to a straight line. Okay, and there we go. We have that nice straight line. And what I can do here now is I can take this, and right now you can see that's a curve because the arms got pulled out. I'm going to convert it and go back to here. Whoop, I just pulled an arm out there. And it's still a curved path, so let's go ahead and convert that back. Okay, and go grab the tool, and you notice how now I can bring this out to here and bring this out to there. And now I have a more uniform top. And so just like with the bottom shapes here, we notice that this shape isn't correct right now either. So I'm on the right still, so I'm going to go to the side right, and I'm going to bring this one up, and I'm going to bring this one over. Okay, and same way over here, I can go to the front right, bring it over slightly, make that bigger, and everything looks pretty good. So now when I go to Command 0, you'll notice that I don't have any gaps, and now I have my first set of blocks created. And basically the tools I used were the pen tool, and then to change or to move my tool, I use the path selection tool. To actually manipulate a section of a shape, I use the direct selection tool and pull on the handles. If my point gives me a curve, and you'll know that because arms will come out and you're only going to get a curved line, you can go back to the pen tool and use what we call the convert tool, and you can convert it to a straight line, or if you need to make it a curve, you can convert it to a curved line as well. So this was the first part that I showed as far as working with straight lines with the pen tool. So I will go ahead and put this up on the class, and hopefully if you have that you understood this, if you have any questions, please contact me and hopefully I can answer them for you. Thanks.